everyone, it's Samantha and welcome to my week number 38 pregnancy update. We finally made it to week 38. That means my baby girl is expected to arrive any day now because your due date is really kind of an estimate. So you got 2 weeks ahead of the due date and 2 weeks behind the due date for the possible birth. So I'm really excited to finally hit this milestone. I am super excited that she made it to February. I really wanted a February baby. So we're into February and now I feel like she can just come at any time now. I'm okay with her being born at any time. In my last video, I had added in a little clip at the end talking about possibly her dropping, and she definitely dropped that day. I had a midwife appointment a couple of days later and they confirmed that she did drop. So she is definitely sitting lower. I'm waddling a lot more now. It's harder for me to get around. I cannot bend at all, like even just kind of bending forward. I feel so much pressure in my pelvic region now that bending's just impossible. So my husband has taken over the feeding the dogs. That was where I was doing most of my bending during the day, is just picking up the dog bowls and putting them in their little dog bowl holders. It's a lot of bending to do, so he's doing that now. I know she had dropped because I went out to lunch the day after I had filmed that little clip, and I was able to eat my full entire meal. We went to a breakfast place and I got pancakes, and usually I ate a couple of the pancakes and that is it. I ate the full plate of pancakes and it was the biggest meal I think I've eaten probably this entire pregnancy. I just had so much room to eat and it's been amazing ever since. I've been able to eat almost as much as I want. Of course, like my pregnancy cravings are through the roof, so I can't eat everything I want just because I want to eat everything in sight. But I am able to eat full-size portions now, which is wonderful. I was getting so frustrated only being able to eat like a little handful of stuff at a time. But the trade-off is she's sitting on my bladder. So during the day, it's like I'm up every 30 or so minutes going to the bathroom. But still during the night, I'm only getting up 1, possibly 2 times a night, which has been great. So I guess the way I lay down, she's not putting pressure on my bladder as much, or I don't feel it as much or something, because I'm still able to get pretty decent sleep. It's not perfect. I still wake up a lot and toss and turn, and if she's moving a lot, she will wake me up. But I am able to get some stretches of sleep, which has been really nice. So there was one evening this week, I can't remember what day it was. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I just had intense pains in my stomach. I thought possibly I could be going into labor or something because it was pretty intense. I'm gonna try my best to describe what it felt like. It was like really tightness around my belly button area and kind of to the side. I was having this tightness feeling. It was painful and it was almost like a stabbing pain every once in a while. And this went on and off for a couple of hours, just maybe 2 hours, where it would happen every once in a while. And it wasn't something that was happening to where I could time it and say it was coming in intervals. It was just kind of a random thing every once in a while, and it was incredibly painful. I thought maybe that was it. And it happened pretty late at night. So I was looking online, deciding if we were gonna go to labor and delivery, and I really didn't want to have to go in the middle of the night if it wasn't something serious. So I was just kind of looking online at things, and I've narrowed it down to 2 possible scenarios. It was either something called false labor, which is when you just kind of have a test run of labor. It doesn't produce anything, it doesn't amount to anything. And what made me think it was the false labor over just Braxton Hicks is because they were saying that with the false labor, the contractions start near your belly button and work their way like out from your belly button. Whereas when I was reading about real contractions generally start on the sides or on your back and wrap around from that side. So that was the like only big difference that it was showing. I wasn't having any other labor signs. I wasn't having any discharge. I wasn't feeling them all the time. They weren't rhythmic at all. It did go on and off for a couple of hours and it was really uncomfortable. It was my first moment where I was worried that my labor might be starting, and it hasn't happened since. So it was just definitely a weird episode, and I have had Braxton Hicks contractions. So that's what made me think it wasn't Braxton Hicks contractions, because they haven't been painful at all. I just feel tightening like all around my stomach. And I'll have a couple of those here and there during the day. I haven't really noticed them getting more frequent, but I have noticed they've been getting stronger, whereas before I could barely notice them if I was, being really still and I happened to have one, I would feel it. Well, now if I'm even walking around or something, I definitely can feel them. So they are getting stronger. I just don't think they're getting any more frequent. But that night that happened, it was pretty scary because it started out really painful, which I was talking to my husband. I was like, I don't think, your labor's supposed to start off this strong or this painful, so it definitely was just one of those like weird false labor spells. And I understand why people go into the labor and delivery with those. We were really close to going. I was making sure all my bags were packed, but I'm glad we just stayed home and stuck it out because nothing ever came of it. And I knew nothing was wrong with her because she was still moving around just like normal. She moves around a lot, just like all the time. There's very few times during the day that she's not moving around. If I haven't felt her in a while, if I've been busy or something and not paying attention, I kind of just sit there for 5 minutes and I'll feel her move around. She just moves a lot. Speaking of moving, since she has dropped, I've been feeling a lot more kicks. Before, I was feeling a lot of rolling movements, just her whole body rolling, and then a little kick here and there, but it was mostly just a rolling movement I was feeling a lot of the time. And now I feel legitimate little kicks. Sometimes they do feel painful, like she's stretching out her leg and then moving her leg around or something. I'll be able to feel where her spine is, and then I'll have like a little pokey part on the opposite side of my stomach. She is kicking and stretching and stuff now, which is a different feeling than before. And now my whole belly will just like shape really weird. So my belly, will be round, and then all of a sudden it'll be like square shaped because she's poking her spine on this side and she's kicking her legs on this side. It looks really square shaped. Or it'll be completely lopsided, like she's hanging out just on one side, and it'll be like ooh on one side. It's really weird. It's really different from how it looked before. I do have another midwife appointment this week, and I can get checked. They can check my cervix if I want them to. It's an optional thing, but I don't think I'm gonna have them check it. I just feel like I'd rather not be checked if I can help it. They haven't checked me the whole time, except at the very beginning of my pregnancy, and I'd like to keep it that way as long as possible. I know they check you during labor and all that stuff, but if they don't have to check, I don't want them to check. I had a midwife appointment this last week with the same midwife I had the week before, so I couldn't get another person's weight estimate, which is totally okay. This happens to be my favorite midwife of the group. I'm actually gonna see this midwife again this week coming up. I'm gonna go ahead and go down my list of questions that I always go down. We are 38 weeks and baby is the size of a pumpkin, and when I read that I was just in shock. It was saying that the baby's somewhere between 6.5 pounds to 9 pounds already, so I'm just kind of shocked because we're 2 weeks out. I don't know, I can't get over it. I can't believe she can come any day now. It's just really exciting. Emotionally and overall, I'm feeling wonderful. I'm just kind of getting antsy because I want to meet her so bad. I'm just ready to go. I feel like everything is done. I showed you guys the nursery tour this last Sunday. I will link it down below if you haven't seen that. I just feel like we're ready. Symptoms I already talked about. I'm still having raging heartburn. I noticed something with the heartburn, and I don't know if I've mentioned this previously, but if I don't eat right before bed, I have the worst heartburn all night long. And it's heartburn that even if I take a heartburn pill, I cannot get rid of. So I definitely have to eat right before bed, or else I will get that really, really bad heartburn that I can't get rid of until I eat. So I just wanted to put that out there. If you're having really bad heartburn and the medicine's not working, try just eating something small, and sometimes it's just because your stomach is empty. I've been noticing that's been happening more and more. So cravings have been just anything I see. So if there's a commercial, I want whatever that is. If I'm thinking about a food, or my friend mentions a food, or I look on Pinterest or Instagram, I want whatever I see. That's just how it is. And my other craving is strawberries. So I'm still going to town on the strawberries, but really, I could just eat anything at this point. Just everything sounds good, everything looks good. Anytime I hear anything mentioned, that's what I want right then. It's just bad. On my to-do list this week, all I want to do is walk. I want to get in as much walking as possible. I'm still getting swollen, so I can't walk a ton, but I'm going to try my best to just walk as much as possible. I just really want to get some walking in, get her moved down as much as possible, and get ready for labor. So weight gain, I don't know what I was last week. I can't remember what I was, but I am 195. I was actually surprised it was only 195 because I have been eating so much more than I was able to eat the last couple weeks. And then also Super Bowl Sunday was yesterday because today's Monday, so I really pigged out yesterday. I was really shocked it was just 195. I guess the best thing that happened this week was her dropping. Another really good thing that happened this week is my husband cleaned the house this weekend. He just did tons and tons of chores, and it was just nice. He just encouraged me to sit back and relax, and he did a lot of cleaning, and so the house looks great, and I was really pleased with that. In the middle of his cleaning, I was hungry and I was about to get a snack, and he even peeled my little cuties for me. I thought it was so sweet of him. And the worst thing that happened this week wasn't really a bad thing because it's meaning, you know, labor's coming soon, but that false labor event that I had was a little bit scary and it was really painful. So I was worried if my labor starts that strong, I don't know if I can do that for a day or two. It was really strong and I felt some really sharp knife stabby type of pains with that. So it was really bizarre. The pain part of that was the worst thing that happened, but overall, I know it's a good thing. It's meaning my body's getting ready for labor and hopefully she'll be here soon. So for helpful pregnancy tips and discoveries, my best tip is just relax and enjoy the process as much as possible. It gets a little bit nerve-wracking at the end because you're not sure when you're going into labor or anything. But my best advice is just try to relax and enjoy your time as much as possible. One of our big things is every week we go out for a date. That's just something we love to do. We go out to eat or we order takeout, and it's just a great time for us to reconnect and not have any distractions. And we've just loved that. We love going every week. We look forward to it. And when the baby gets here, we're not going to be able to do that as much, obviously. So we're just trying to soak it up as much as we can. The last couple weeks, we've been kind of squeezing in extra little dates here and there just to get our fill of date nights, and we're hoping to get a couple of lunch dates squeezed in the next couple of weeks before she gets here, if she waits that long. You know, we're trying to enjoy this time as much as we can because this is the last time it's just going to be the two of us. I'm getting emotional. I've still been emotional all week, by the way. So it's just something we're trying to enjoy the time as much as possible. So I recommend you just enjoy your time as a couple. If it's your first baby, things are really going to change. You know, you go from a family of 2 to a family of 3, and that's a huge step. So just enjoy it while you can. So that is it. Let me go ahead and show you my belly. Just very large. Now, a lot of my shirts are riding up that weren't riding up before. I feel like she's gotten way bigger. It's just sticking out. I feel like this part's a lot lower than it was. I really can't tell in the pictures though any difference. I definitely feel different this week. She is. So that's it for this video, and like I said, she could come at any time, so I'm not sure when I'll put that hiatus notice up, but I'll be sure to put that up as soon as I'm not filming anymore. If I decide I'm too big and I'm too lazy to film, I won't film next week's update. And if she decides to make an appearance early, I'll go ahead and put the hiatus notice up so you guys know. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at The Scrap Master. I'll link it down below so you guys can check me out there, and I will post my birth announcement there first. It'll just be easy to pop a picture up there once she's here, so be watching for that if you want to know when she arrives. Definitely follow me over there. And that is it. So hopefully I'll have a 39-week update for you guys next week, and if not, hopefully I'll be introducing my baby girl. So that is it for today. Be sure to subscribe and check me out on Instagram, like I said, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.